you, a lot of female folks are now watching you. How would you encourage the women's basically to take part in active investing? Most of them are savers, but how, just maybe, would you advise them from migrating them from savers to investors?
So, sort of, firstly, I completely agree that, there's no saver like an Indian woman. And as I said, this is something that you learned from your mothers and mother-in-laws who manage households, and you've seen the quantum of that saving also during demonetization. I think the next step that Indian women have to make is investing. I would say two, three things to any woman who's listening to this conversation. And before I say that, I also would say, because I talk to a lot of young women through the medium of social media, this is changing. In my mother's generation, we were very happy to outsource investing to a family member, a husband, a son, a father. But I think today, because there is so much availability of info, there are so many platforms out there, advisors are out there. The 21-year-old working girl today wants to ask questions. So I think one, this is changing. The few messages I have quickly are: one, do not outsource this. These do not outsource it for a few reasons. One, you are fully capable of doing it. As Nilesh Bhai said in the beginning, investing is not complicated. It is about understanding the basics of having a diversified portfolio, having a sense of goals, checking off some of the basic boxes around tax planning. It is not complicated. If you can manage your household, if you can manage your career, then you can definitely manage investing. So one reason not to outsource it is it is not complicated. Second reason not to outsource it is, we talked about the professional unit, but as a family unit, the family makes goals together. And when women are involved in the goal planning exercise, then you make better goals as a family. In fact, I would encourage men on the call. The message is not only for women, to involve women in the financial planning exercise for the family. When a woman of the house comes and says, I want to take interest in the finances, don't be dismissive about it. Help her get into the process. And the third reason I would say it's important to get involved is that life is uncertain. We've seen during COVID, there are so many cases when a family member may be incapacitated. Unfortunately, you may lose a family member. Divorces happen, and the woman is sometimes left struggling to access her own money that she had made so many compromises to save. So there are many reasons to learn investing. That's the first thing I would say. And in terms of how to go about it, the mantras are the same. I think get a basic sense of what the asset classes are. Invest in simple instruments. Start habits like SIP. And always work towards your goals. I think women are very, very good at setting goals. कि 3 साल बाद ये achieve करना है, घर के लिए ये करना है, 5 साल बाद ये करना है. If you can just take those goals, put the long-term goals in equity, the short-term goals in debt, and the medium-term goals in balanced instruments, I think you will be reasonably on your way. And I should leave you with this story that um, I have a nurse that comes and visits me because of some medical treatments in pregnancy, and I think she realized after a few interactions with me कि ये कुछ mutual fund industry की है. She's from the mutual fund industry. So she asked me one day while giving me this injection, she said, "You are from mutual funds?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I want to start an SIP for my daughter." And I said, "How did you think of this thought?" She said, "I kept hearing you talk about the word SIP when I was doing these injections, and I want my daughter to live sort of a better life than I did and to start much earlier." So I also end with hope and optimism that the younger Indian woman is getting far more evolved. She's not only learning, but she's also wanting to invest for a better future.